The Krillian hunting party descended upon the frozen moon of Epsilon 7 with practiced efficiency. Their bioscanners had detected the unmistakable thermal signature of a human, the last one according to their records. Commander Vexthor clicked his mandibles in satisfaction as his troops surrounded the crude shelter carved into the ice. "Surround the perimeter," he hissed through the comlink. The species that once dominated 3 star systems has been reduced to this. One frightened survivor hiding in the cold. The Krillians had spent 2 decades systematically dismantling human civilization. After the brief war that humanity had foolishly started, the superior Krillian fleet had shattered Earth's defenses. What followed was methodical. Colony after colony fell, ships were hunted down, settlements were burned. The humans, for all their vaunted resilience, had scattered like insects before the storm. Now only one remained. Sarah Chen huddled inside her shelter, fingers trembling as she activated the ancient communication array she'd spent 3 years rebuilding from salvaged parts. The Krillians were here. She'd known they would come eventually. 23 years of running, hiding, surviving on frozen worlds and forgotten outposts. It was finally over. But she hadn't been idle. "This is Sarah Chen, last survivor of the USS Valiant, transmitting on all emergency frequencies," she whispered into the microphone, her breath forming clouds in the frigid air. "If anyone can hear this, they found me. Protocol 7 is active. Repeat, Protocol 7 is active." Outside, Vexthor's troops breached the shelter's entrance. Plasma rifles charged. They advanced through the narrow ice tunnel. The commander stayed behind, watching through their helmet cameras, eager to witness the capture of humanity's final representative. Perhaps he would keep her alive for a while, a trophy to parade before the Galactic Council. The troops found her in the central chamber, kneeling beside a makeshift console, hands raised in surrender. She was smaller than Vexthor had expected, her face weathered by hardship, eyes carrying the weight of a dead civilization. "The last human," one of his soldiers reported. "She's transmitting something." "Cut the signal and bring her out," Vexthor ordered. But Sarah was smiling. "Too late," she said softly. "You just made the galaxy's biggest mistake." Vexthor's confusion lasted exactly 7 seconds. Then his flagship's sensors began screaming warnings. Hyperspace ruptures were opening across the system. Dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. Ship signatures flooded his displays, each one broadcasting human identification codes. "Impossible," Vexthor breathed. "We killed them all. We watched their worlds burn." Sarah stood slowly, lowering her hands. "You killed the ones who stayed, the ones who fought your invasion head-on. But humans learned something important in our history. Sometimes survival means disappearing." On his command ship's view screen, Vexthor watched in horror as the human fleet materialized. These weren't the elegant vessels of the old Earth Navy. These were crude, mismatched ships, generation vessels, converted freighters, colony ships armed with weapons that looked cobbled together from salvage and spite. But there were so many of them. "While you hunted down our colonies, thousands of ships went dark," Sarah continued, her voice now carrying over Vexthor's own comm systems. How had she hacked his network? Families, scientists, soldiers. They went to the dark spaces between stars, the uncharted regions where your scanners couldn't reach. They hid in nebulae on rogue planets in asteroid fields. For 20 years they waited, scattered across 100 light-years, maintaining radio silence. Waiting for what? Vexthor demanded, his voice cracking with something that might have been fear. "For the last human to be found," Sarah said. "For Protocol 7. You see, we knew you wouldn't stop until you'd hunted every last one of us. Your pride wouldn't allow even a single human to survive. So we gave you what you wanted, a target, someone to chase across the galaxy while everyone else prepared." The human fleet was advancing now, and Vexthor's sensors registered weapons charging, thousands of them. Behind the warships came something even more terrifying. Colony vessels, medical frigates, construction ships, mobile shipyards. This wasn't a military fleet. This was an entire civilization coming out of hiding. "You wanted to exterminate humanity," Sarah said, as Krillian ships across the system began reporting human vessels dropping out of hyperspace around their positions. "But you forgot the most important thing about us: we're really, really good at surviving. And when you back us into a corner, when you take everything from us, when you hunt us to what you think is extinction." She paused, and her smile was cold as the moon beneath her feet. "We come back with friends, Across 100 worlds where Krillian forces had established dominance, human ships were appearing. Not to conquer, Sarah's message made clear, but to reclaim. The Galactic Council would later receive a simple transmission. Humanity had returned and they were done running. Vexthor's hunting party never left Epsilon 7. When the ice moon was later excavated, archaeologists found Sarah's shelter had been converted into a memorial, with a single inscription carved into the frozen wall. They hunted the last human. They awoke 7 million more. The Krillian Empire sued for peace 3 months later. They had learned what predators throughout Earth's history had discovered the hard way. Humans were never the prey. They were persistence hunters, and they always remembered.